On the first day, man was granted a soul, and with it, clarity. On the second day, upon Earth was planted an irrevocable poison, a soul-devouring demon.
Hello, are you ready to journey to Boletaria and fight dangerous monsters with me? I hope you are, because this is Let's Play Demon Souls with me, Crudeless. Hello! I hope you are ready for a tough game, because this game is notorious for being quite difficult. I'm going to skip forward to when I'm done with the naming of my character, because writing the name of the character in character creation takes a while. So I'll see you there and explain some more once we are there. And here we are. We are going to be called Ethalion. If you didn't know already, this game is going to be an RPG, by the way. We're going to be called Ethalion because that was a name I originally called my warrior in World of Warcraft, and it's a name that has been stuck with me for a while. We are going to be a male in this game. It actually depends if you're going to be a male or female, because there are some gear that is only available to each gender, or each sex, I guess. We're also going to choose a class. The only thing that we have the classes, we have soldier, knight, hunter, priest, magician, the wanderer, the barbarian, and the thief, and the temple knight, and royalty. So there are loads of classes. As you can see, the stats on the right here are going to change depending on what you which class you choose. And also the soul level at the bottom is actually a determinant of which level you start at. So as you can see, the royal starts at soul level 1, and the royal is actually famed for being quite overpowered in this game. But if you choose one of the other classes, there are some stats that are already purchased. Once you gain a soul level, you're basically able to purchase a stat in each of these different stats. So vitality, intelligence, endurance, strength, dexterity, magic, faith, and luck. They are presented with these weird white symbols to the left there. They are determining different stuff, which I'm going to go into once we enter the game. I'm going to start out with a strength character. We're going to be a warrior type class, because that's pretty fun to watch the gameplay of. I find it to be a little more boring to watch the casters in the Souls game, personally. But I can show off a few more strategies by being a melee. So we can either choose a knight, a soldier, or a temple knight. For this build, I'm actually going to choose a temple knight, because he starts with the highest amount of strength, and he has a very low magic and resilience, but quite a high stat of faith, which could be useful later on. for healing and stuff like that, which I'm going to show you eventually. As of appearance changes, I'm not going to change our character too much because all the options available to us are pretty horrible. So let's start off by updating the save data. By the way, starting this game in offline mode because of reasons which I'll explain once we enter the game. See you guys in a few seconds.
King Alant XII, by channeling the power of souls, brought unprecedented prosperity to his northern kingdom of Boletaria. That is, until the colorless deep fog swept across the land. Boletaria was cut off from the outside world, and those who dared penetrate the deep fog never returned. But Valorfax of the royal Twin Fangs broke free from the fog and told the world of Boletaria's plight. That the old King Alant had aroused the Old One, the great beast below the Nexus, from its eternal slumber, and that a colorless fog had swept in, unleashing terrible demons. The demons hunt down men and claim their souls. Those who lose their souls also lose their minds. The mad attack the sane, and chaos reigns. Valorfax spoke of the enticing power of the demon souls. Each time a demon claims a human soul, the demon's own soul is invigorated by the life force. And the power of a mature demon soul is beyond human imagination. The legend spread quickly. Mighty warriors were drawn to the accursed land, but none have returned. Bjor of the Twin Fangs, Yurt the Silent Chief, Sage Urbane, Skurver the Wanderer, the Sixth Saint Astraea and her knight Garl Vinland, and Sage Frake the Visionary. The colorless deep fog slowly creeps beyond Boletaria's borders. Humankind faces a slow and steady extinction. The deep fog will eventually swallow all lands near and far. But Boletaria has one final hope. A lone warrior who has braved the baneful fog. Has the land found its savior? Or have the demons found a new slave?
Ooh. The story of this game is actually really good, in my opinion. It's a lot deeper than people make it out to be. Would you like to play through the journey to the Nexus? Yes, we would actually do that because this is the tutorial level, and it's beneficial if you want to explain some of the gameplay mechanics of the game. So as you can see in the intro tutorial, there are a lot of basically non-playable characters that are named.
Who fears not death.
Who fears not death. Yes. Thank you, maiden.
I shall guide you.
And these NPCs are, you'll find them eventually, or we'll journey through the different
so that you may
areas in the game.
Old one back to slumber.
Yeah, let's lull the old one back from its slumber. That's interesting. And these NPCs are vital to the plot. As you see, we start off with our character here. He's wearing a plated armor. He has a shield and a halberd, it looks like. So let's press the start button and check out our equipment. As you can see to our right here, we can change the status display. This is important because you want to be aware of your equipment burden. As you can see, our equipment burden is 41.8 out of 42, which is this means that when we try to roll with the circle button, our rolls will be extremely slow. So if you try to dodge away from an enemy like this, you'll have to fall on the ground. We also have a health meter, a magic meter, the blue one up to the left underneath the red bar, which is the vitality, the health we have, and the green bar is our stamina. So you can see once we roll, the stamina depletes if we use an attack. The stamina depletes if we are hit on our shield. The stamina depletes if we use a heavy attack with R2. It depletes even more. You can also press the I guess it's the triangle button on the since this is a PlayStation 3 exclusive, and you'll change from wielding the weapon in your right hand and start wielding it two-handed. By doing this, you can actually wield weapons that are too heavy for you or that requires more stats to actually wield by putting it in two hands. But you have to sacrifice wielding a shield. These games, the Souls games, are pretty notorious for being pretty dependent on shield usage. They get a lot more difficult, but if you don't use shield, but you can... I'll show you a few things first on the shield. As you can see, this shield here, let's see, shield, heater shield. It has a physical attack. You can actually hit people with the shield. That's not really that important. But the damage reduction percentage is really important because this shield has a 100% chance to drop, to block damage. Some shields only block a percentage of the incoming damage. And this is a talisman we also have. We use that to cast magic. We also have a heavy armor on us. I'm going to unequip the armor just to show you that our equipment burden depletes down to 22 out of 42. Let's take off these gloves as well. As you can see, our rolls now, it's a lot quicker. If we stay under, I guess that's under about 20%. Or I guess under 50%, we have a quick roll, so I recommend that for you. You can also, let's try to block this attack. You can block attacks by pressing the L2 button. Oh, come here. There we go. Block. And then you hit the guy, and you'll get a critical hit, as it's called. You can also get critical hits by backstabbing the enemies. You can do this by, let's see what the R2. Yeah, there we go. So you can backstab the enemies by basically moving behind them and... Come on. By moving behind them, standing directly behind where they are, and pressing the R1 button. This also guarantees a critical hit, which most times one-shots... here we go. One-shots low-level enemies. As you can see, the animations for each weapon are... different depending on what weapons you wield. So if I'm wielding this weapon in two-handed or one-handed, the animations will be different. As you can see, if I'm using this two-handed and using the R2 heavy hit, then he'll do a AoE swipe. If we're using it one hand, he'll do a little weaker, shorter AoE swipe. You can also press the circle button to backstep and roll if you press if you hold the direction once you press the button. Or you can press the circle button and hit R1 to do a like a counter move, I guess, like this. You can also press forward and the R1 button to do a short stab with this weapon, or a punch if you're if the guy you're fighting has his block up or something like that. And in this game you can't jump. In the Dark Souls games you can jump by holding down the circle button. You'll actually be able to run, but it depletes stamina. Very useful to use this in a couple of settings. Oop. The halberd is actually a really strong weapon. It's called a halberd, right? Yeah, it's a right-hand halberd. What? Ah, that's weird. The weapon location actually displayed before the name of the weapon. But yeah, as you can see, once we kill the enemies, we get souls down in the right corner there. Oh, I'm gonna kill this guy first. And these souls, actually, once you die, you lose the souls, but you're able to retrieve them by going to the location of which you died. But if you can't make it to that point, you lose all your demon's souls that you have accumulated. And these souls are used as currency for both leveling up and for purchasing equipment and repairing stuff. So souls are the the major deal in this game. In this game, This game uses like consumables. You can see down to the left of the screen you have the heal on the top, which we can equip our talisman by pressing right on the D-pad, and this will be able to heal us with a spell. But we can also heal with the Crescent Moongrass, which is an item that we get from enemy drops. Oh, we have a guy. Let's backstab him. The thing about the Demon Souls games that you need to be aware, because the game developers have basically put people or put a lot of thought into, I guess, trapping you in certain situations in which you need to be a bit clever to actually get out and survive. So that's where the game's difficulty comes from. It's difficult because it challenges you. You need to be able to learn from your mistakes. And the game is also very much about defense and attack, and knowing when to act in certain situations, and it's also about stamina and I guess resource control. So this guy is a blue-eyed knight, as you can see from his blue eyes, and he has a shield. To defeat him, I recommend actually you can block his attacks, or you can stab him in the back. Let's try to block him. Oh. Guess that failed. Yeah, there we go. And then you stab him in the chest, and boom, he's dead. So these guys give you, well, a lot more souls than the other guys. Where was I? Yeah, the way you manage your stamina and your resources is really important, and when you're deciding when to heal and stuff like that. As you can see, the healing items, the consumables, are we have a multitude of them. In this game, the consumables are available to be farmed. In Dark Souls, you have a limited amount that refreshes each time you start at the bonfire, which is the basically the checkpoint system that Dark Souls uses. This game only has checkpoints that are called archstones, which are basically the start of the entire... Oh, there we have a crossbowman that uses range attacks. Gotta be careful and be aware of those. And the archstones are basically the loading points for each areas of the game. I'm going to show you that once we get there and get done with a tutorial. So there's going to be a lot of info in this first episode, but I'm sure you'll benefit from that info. Oh, hello! As you can see, sometimes the like punch animation is a little come on, come here. Is a little annoying because I sometimes intend to like hit the guy with the stab move, and then I punch him instead, and the animations go astray. So here we are going through this little area up here. Once we get to the top, we're going to meet something a little funny, and if we manage to get past that, we'll be able to get some additional rewards at the start of the game. Not really that important, but it's fun to watch anyway. So yeah, anything else I need to talk about? Well, let's see. This boss, right through this fog here, is called the Vanguard. And he is like a teaser boss. It's going to show you that, yeah, like this. I died first attempt. That was embarrassing. But yeah, he is like an intimidation tactic, I guess. If we defeat him, you get a couple of chests with loot. But this time, I wasn't pretty terrible. So we didn't get anything, but that doesn't matter because you're supposed to die here anyway. What happens if you defeat the guy? I guess you could check that out for yourself if you want to, but I can tell you, if you don't want to hear it, just take off your headphones or put your fingers in your ear for like 10 seconds. But you get to one of the later bosses in the game. You get teleported to in front of that boss, and he'll kill you instead. So yeah, you die either way, because it's necessary for the plot that you die, because you wind up here in this area, and you hear an ominous voice.
Let strength be granted, so the world might be mended.
Let strength be mended, so the world can be mended, I guess.
From its vessel.
Yeah.
Let strength be granted, so the world might be mended.
Yeah, she keeps repeating this throughout the game.
So the world might be mended.
The world needs to be mended, huh? So here we are resurrected by the the Maiden in Black, as she's called, in the Nexus. And this is the place where we returned each time we die. And it's linked to... Yeah, this is the Nexus.
It holds together the northern land of Boletaria. Thou canst not exit the Nexus, but each of the 5 archstones will connect them to another.
So we have the 5 archstones here that connects us to the worlds, which I mentioned earlier. So these are basically our... However, by capturing demon souls, you can reclaim your physical body. So as you can see now, our health has been reduced to 50% because we are actually in soul form. In Dark Souls, you are reduced to undead, and here we are reduced to soul form. We also have the Nexual Binding, which is an item we just got, and this is an item... Let's see where it is. I guess it's... Come on, here it is. The Nexual Binding is the symbol of those imprisoned in the Nexus. Having this ties you to the Nexus. Even if you lose your physical body, you cannot die, and your soul remains trapped in the Nexus. The Nexual Binding sends the user back to the Nexus upon death, but all souls collected will be lost. So that's basically an escape rope, or a way to escape from the place you are in if you want to get back to the Nexus as fast as possible, but you lose all your souls by using it. Here we have some NPCs. We have 3 NPCs starting out, and we also have the Maiden in Black, but she disappeared. Once she reappears and functions as the way to level up in the game once we defeat the first boss. Let's talk to this guy.
Well, you slipped through the fissure too, did you?
Yeah, we did. We slipped through the fissure.
For demon souls? Or to save this land and be remembered as a hero? Hunting for demons? Try one of the archstones. Now go. That is why you came, is it not? To this accursed Boletaria?
Yes, it is. This guy is a returning character in all the Souls games. He's the crestfallen warrior in the Dark Souls games. Starts you off in the quest hub. This guy, he's not nice at all. He's pretty rude, actually. Name's Baldwin.
Ordinary blacksmith. It's simple. In trade with your soul.
Yeah, this guy, he can upgrade weapons in the beginning of the game by using the shards of Heartstone, or shards of, like different shards you get basically. Sharpstone, Heartstone, not Hearthstone, but yeah. And he also sells the Moongrass and some items, like the Battle Axe, which is a cool item. It also repairs equipment, and once you die or use the equipment get damaged.
Stockpile Thomas.
And we have Stockpile Thomas.
When the scourge came, I didn't know what hit me. When I came to, I found myself. My wife and daughter fell victim to the demons.
He has a pretty heavy story.
But I would be worthless in battle. At the very least, I hope to lend my assistance to you. I would be happy to lighten your load.
Yeah, he's our bank. We can put items here if we don't want to carry them around, because we have an item burden limit, which is regulated by our strength. Luckily, we're going to have be using buffing up our strength to be able to carry a lot of items, I guess. So now, I started playing this game in offline mode for a reason. As you can see, this option here next to the system options is called the world tendency. What this means is that there is the 5 archstones, I guess, that are still available. The 6th one was an area the developers originally had planned, but that they scrapped, I guess. So this is we start off with the Boletarian Palace, which we refer to as World 1. Stonefang Tunnel is World 2. Tower of Latria is World 3. The Valley of Defilement is 5, and Shrine of Storms is 4. I think. At least that's the order I prefer to do them in. Because I dislike the Valley of Defilement pretty much. It's yeah. My favorite area is Tower of Latria, by the way. Just look forward to that area. It's fantastic. It's it's amazing. I'm gonna Tower of Latria, amazing place. Boletarian Palace is also amazing. But in the next episode, I'm going to go to the Boletarian Palace, and we are actually going to start the game for real. See you guys next time, and I hope you stay for a while and join Ethalion there. Yeah. Bye!